cut it back.
Yep, cut back hard. Oh, that was a piece of cake. The boat just slid right under it. You're right on the edge, though.
Yep, gotta be. So let's come in.
Right, you are about to hit it. You're like 1 inch to spare. You're okay. Yeah, not quite, but yeah, clear. You're good. Whew, that was tight.
Adios.
Adios.
Well, it's been fun in Guatemala, but we're about to cross the border into El Salvador. Now, every border crossing is a little different. It sounds like it's a pretty easy border, but we're gonna know here in just a minute.
So this is our 4th border crossing on this trip. Everybody asks us what you need to know to cross a border. And so as we're preparing for this, I thought I'd walk you through it. I've got this great little folder that has copies of our driver's license, our passport, our insurance, our birth certificates, and any important documents that we had from the last country that we were in. So our temporary import permit for our vehicle and our visas or anything like that. So that whenever we get there, I have copies ready to go. We don't have to go to a copy shop to get anything made. And hopefully the border crossing is smooth and seamless.
We've stopped at the last fuel station here in Guatemala going southbound, so we just always like to hit a border topped off, because you never know, you might cross the border and have a hard time finding fuel or currency or whatever it might be. I think we're set and we're ready to go to a new country. This will be our 25th country in our Winnebago Revel.
Right there.
I can see a river right down here in this valley below me. That is the border of Guatemala and El Salvador. All right, here we are. We're gonna sign out of Guatemala right now. All right, I'm grateful we're here in the El Salvador customs area where we're getting our passports checked in. They said I could film in here as long as I didn't film any of their staff, so I'm grateful for that. This is a very nice, new, modern, and air-conditioned facility here where we're going through our paperwork. And man, El Salvador is looking really good. It's off to a really good start. What's George doing here? I think he is standing in front of the air conditioner and loving every minute of it. Unlike this poor dog out here. Oh, poor perro. All right, we are through and we are headed now to get our vehicles checked in. That is the next step. Went really good. El Salvador's got it together. This bridge is the border between Guatemala and El Salvador. We're on the El Salvador side. We loved our time in Guatemala, but we're stoked to be here in El Salvador. It's gonna be fun. We've made it to El Salvador.
Yeah, bienvenido a El Salvador.
Yes, we're here.
Grande.
Thank you, the best aduana officer ever.
Yeah,
yes.
Very good.
All right, gracias. Feels good to be here. Very exciting, and I gotta admit, the customs process here, half the people spoke English. They were all super friendly, had smiles, were joking around with us. It was a wonderful experience. So we are off to a really good start in El Salvador. We're excited to be here. I want to tell you something.
Okay, tell me.
Welcome to El Salvador!
Gracias, Senor Pedro.
Yeah, this is rad. All right, we've made it. We're in El Salvador. We are going southbound. We've still got quite a ways to go to get to our camp tonight. We're hoping we get there before dark. Should be fine, but we're in a new country. There's new things to learn, new things to see, new street signs to figure out what the heck they mean. But at least they take US dollars here as their national currency, so we don't have to figure out currency, which is gonna be really nice. Let's go explore El Salvador. We are excited to be here, and check this place out. We are camping in a place with hundreds of other local El Salvadorians. We just drove across the border and we found the first place to camp. Well, it wasn't the first place, but it was the first place we could find on Volcan Santa Ana. It's about 72 degrees. It's a beautiful, cool night, beautiful skies. The sun is starting to set over here and we are surrounded by locals camping. And we're excited to maybe make some new friends and get a glimpse into a new culture. Just a short walk from our campsite is this cool little restaurant with this beautiful balcony and the sun is setting.
I did not bring enough
This is
money.
pretty amazing. Good morning, El Salvador. All right, we are headed back to our restaurant that we really enjoyed last night for breakfast. We're gonna have something that's local here called a pupusa. They're really good. We're excited to try them. All right, we've had a great time here, camp with the locals. It's been really educational, and actually many of the El Salvadorians speak really good English. You know, I think it's always best if we try to speak Spanish, which we do, but it's very helpful when we just want to find out the ins and outs and the details of something that we just don't have the vocabulary to do. It's so nice when we run across a local who can explain things to us in English. So now we're gonna leave the volcano. We're going down to where it's gonna be a little warmer, hopefully not too hot, and we are off to our next destination. So let's do this. All right, there's been one thing that I've been talking about since we got to really even Mexico. And on this trip, I wanted to find a machete. I don't know why, it just seems like something you get when you come to Central and South America is you have a machete, and almost every man walking around here has a machete in their hands. But we're getting ready to go into a ferreteria, which is a hardware store here, and see what they have as far as the machete selection. Machete? Is that say? See? Bien? Oh.
22.
Trooper? Oh, yeah. So we have 3 sizes here. Oh gosh, even more. A little serrated. Well, looks like it's $8. So George, what do you think about this one?
I think this is a good one.
Yeah?
I mean, it's got the best handle so far. It's got a little lanyard hole in it.
Yeah.
It says El Salvador on it.
I kind of like this one.
I like that. Why not? $8.
Yeah. Okay. Sí. Gracias, señor. All right, I found a machete, and it says El Salvador on it. It's pretty cool. Gracias, señor. All right, so I got one. Looky here, I got my first machete. It's pretty cool. It says El Salvador on it. It's not the fanciest one, but it cost $8.50. It feels like quite a value for what I'm getting. I'd love to find a sheath for it, and the salesman said that the next town down, I should be able to find a sheath. All right, we were just driving through. We saw an interesting market and decided to stop and check it out. Okay, George is going first. George is getting a nice little fade. Shorter on the bottom, longer on the top. Unfortunately, George and I don't have as much on the top to fade to. So we'll see how it works out.
Oh, it feels cooler already.
Nice.
I like it. Good, man.
Feels good?
Yeah, that was way overdue, but I'm glad I got it.
You're looking great.
Got my little Hemingway thing going.
Here we go, it's my turn. I'm in the chair. I probably haven't had a barbershop haircut in at least 15 years. So this is actually going to be quite a treat. All right, there's no instructions here as far as hairstyle. I'm just going to get what I get. Not that there's a lot to work with, as you can see. All right, there it is, all trimmed up. Got my first haircut in a long time. Felt really good. Awesome time at the market. What do you think about my new haircut? Does it look dashing? I think so. All right, we've explored the market. Now we're gonna keep going on to our next spot, which honestly, we don't even know where that is. We're just exploring El Salvador. It's Jorge. We have made it to Laguna de Alegria. This is a volcanic crater. It has a little lake in the bottom, and you can drive down into it and spend the night here if you want. And that is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna camp out here tonight. Look at this. I have my Roam Rig hoodie on. It is nice and cool up here, and we are gonna have a wonderful night. This crater is amazing. It's really pretty here. So I wanna give you my impressions of El Salvador so far. I am blown away. El Salvador is nothing like I expected, and I don't even really know what I expected. But the roads are amazing. The people are amazing. Many people speak English. The currency here, the national currency, is a mixture between Bitcoin and US dollars. That's pretty unique. So we kind of feel like we're at home with the money thing. We can easily place a value on what something would be worth to us in dollars, and it makes it real easy when you're shopping to kind of feel like if you're getting a good deal or you actually want to spend, the amount that something is. And that's handy because a lot of times when you're buying things in foreign currency, it just all feels like monopoly money unless you actually break out your calculator and figure out the exchange rate and then relate it back to dollars. It doesn't really mean a lot. So being here that it is US dollar currency, that makes it really easy just to know what you're buying and if it's a good deal or not. And we have found there have been lots of great deals. So you can come down here and travel very inexpensively. A night camping in a campground, kind of like where we are right now, is $5. We had one last night that was $13 with electricity. And it seems to vary anywhere from about $5 to $15 for a campsite. Now this is a mixture of this is kind of like paid wild camping. There's no amenities down in this crater, but you do have to go through an entrance gate, and it's a park of sorts, and you pay to get in here, and you pay a little more if you want to spend the night. And it's been great. It's been easy. It's really beautiful, and it's allowed us to stay in some amazing places, so I'm totally fine with that. It is far cheaper than it would be to camp in the United States, and we're experiencing some amazing countryside and getting to stay in some really wild and fun places like where we are right now. The infrastructure in El Salvador is another thing that's really surprised me. Generally speaking, the roads are really nice. They've put a lot of money into making nice 4-lane highways. We've just driven through the countryside. We had a few places where there were some pretty good potholes, and it kind of reminded us a little bit of Mexican roads. But for the most part, it is 180 degrees difference. Really good roads, really good lines and designations painted on the road. And driving here has felt the most like home out of everywhere we've been so far. We also are finding that it seems like the people are the most affluent, meaning we're seeing more brand new cars, more nice cars. It seems like people have more disposable income and are able to, splurge on things. There's more nice restaurants. We really enjoy just the street food and eating at the funky little stands on the side of the road. We've had some of our best meals doing that. It has been nice getting to El Salvador. And like last night, we went in a Panda Express, which we haven't been in an American-style restaurant in a long time. And as we drove through San Salvador, I saw many familiar businesses. I saw a Walmart that we went in. I saw a Panda Express that we ate at. I saw McDonald's. I saw Subway. I saw Texaco. I saw many other stores that were just like they are in the States. When we ate at Panda Express, we thought maybe the menu would be different. It's the exact same menu. The only thing I didn't see was chicken egg rolls. We're just passing the 3-month mark of traveling through Latin America. And it was really nice to go in the Panda Express yesterday and just have something that was familiar. This video is not sponsored by Panda Express, although if you guys would like to sponsor a video, please let us know. The price of fuel here is a little under $4 a gallon as of the recording of this video in 2024. It seems like we're seeing anywhere from $3.80 to $3.95, somewhere in there. Fuel is sold by the dollar, because the dollar is the currency here, right? And it is also sold by the gallon. So speed limits are measured in kilometers, distances are measured in kilometers, but you buy fuel by the gallon and you pay by the dollar. All in all, though, I think El Salvador is poised to maybe be the next Costa Rica or somewhere like that is going to be a tourist hotspot, a place that people will come in on vacations for the beach and maybe for the volcanoes too. And it has just got all the infrastructure I think it needs. And now that they've sorted out the crime issue here, I think this is an amazing place that a lot of people are going to want to come to. Now let's talk about the crime a little bit here. Now we haven't experienced anything bad. 0 things. And that goes for all the way since we crossed the Mexican border. We have had 0 bad experiences. But El Salvador in particular, 5, 6, 7 years ago, this was a very dangerous place. Gangs pretty much ran rampant through the countryside and the cities and held everybody kind of ransom for money. If you didn't pay the gangs, you would end up probably regretting that decision. Well, at one point, the new president came in. He made some rules that were pretty controversial, but he basically went in and just went after the gangs. Anybody who was in the gang was thrown in jail or left the country because they were scared they were going to be thrown in jail. Now, I know there's 2 sides to every story, and this is just the part that I've heard from people, but they say that they love the way the country is now. They finally feel like they're free to go out and enjoy the countryside, to leave their neighborhoods, to go shopping, to do things that before they would be fearful in doing. And so, in a lot of ways, El Salvador has solved its crime problem from the inside out, and now they're enjoying it. And people are saying that they would have never have made the drive from San Salvador down to the beach just to enjoy a day at the beach. And now people are doing things like that. Restaurants are thriving, hotels are thriving, tourism is coming back to El Salvador. And I think this is going to be a good move for the economics of the country. And we'll see how it does in the future. But people like us are coming here and having a wonderful time and discovering that El Salvador is a wonderful place that we might want to even come back to. So we are making our way across El Salvador. It is a pretty small country, but we are finding so many fun things to explore and do. And we've got a few more days, and we're looking forward to checking it out further.
Oh, he's coming. Oh.
Well, here we are. This is our last night in El Salvador. Tonight we're staying at this they call it a tourism center, but it looks like kind of an abandoned swimming pool slash, I don't know, place with slides, and it's right on a lake. It's really pretty, but it's definitely seen better days. It has this really pretty giant tree that's kind of the cornerstone of the whole place. There's water slides, there's various swimming pools. There's what looks like used to be a swim up bar. It's actually pretty interesting here. And this is where we're going to camp. This is just an example of one of the many places that we've found using iOverlander, which is an app for overlanders traveling the world to find places to spend the night, information about border crossings, places to get water, laundry, you name it. There's a lot of great information on this app for travelers. But El Salvador has been wonderful. I'm so glad we got to explore it. This is a lovely country with amazing people. Everyone has been so friendly and hospitable to us. Thank you for that. But tomorrow we jump into Honduras. Honduras has a little bit of a reputation for being a place to maybe avoid or a place to get through as fast as you can. And that is going to be our plan for tomorrow. We are going to cross the border into Honduras relatively early, and we're going to try to cross the country in about 3 hours and then get into Nicaragua. Now, Nicaragua has some very tight borders and procedures to get in and out of it. The hardest border probably that we're going to cross in all of Central America, if not all of the Pan American Highway. So you can't bring drones into Nicaragua. We have now shipped them across from El Salvador to Costa Rica, where we're gonna meet up with them in a week or two. It's kind of a drag because I love being able to film with my drone and get that bird's eye view, but they are not allowed in the country. It is a big no-no, and so they couldn't be on board. We had to ship them through DHL over the border, and we're gonna meet them again in Liberia, Costa Rica. But anyway, that's how it goes. You know, you've got to work within the rules of the countries you're visiting, and this is just one of those instances. But we're excited. We're excited to see Honduras. We're excited to get into Nicaragua. It is supposedly a beautiful country, and we're excited to see it. It is going to be extremely hot, and when I say hot, I mean about 103 degrees. And that is not the most fun thing, being in hot places in a van. We're gonna explore it as best we can, and then we're gonna get to Costa Rica, where we've got higher elevations. We can get to some nicer temperatures. We're really looking forward to exploring more of Central America as we get into Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and then Panama is not too far off, although we're gonna take our time in Costa Rica. So here it is, our last night in a kind of funky little abandoned water park here in El Salvador. There is a beautiful lake over here, and there's locals swimming, so I might have to go for a dip. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video. It means so much if you could hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you guys want to be a bigger part of our journey, consider checking out our Patreon. At our Patreon, you can access our field guide. You're going to get more updates on what we're doing, where we're going, what's going on, and most of all, you're just going to support us making this type of content. So a big thank you to our Patreon community. You guys make these videos possible. But that's it for now from El Salvador. I hope I see you somewhere over the horizon. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.